Nicole just joined. Yeah, there she is.
I have a quick question. How do I get my screen to a grid? I've got mine stacked in single file down the center of my screen. Everybody's about an inch big.
So if you go to the three dots down at the bottom,
yeah,
click on that, and then about the third choice down, change layout.
Change layout. Okay. Auto tiled. Please be the right one.
And you can change the slider, Kathy, if there's not enough room on it. You can slide it all the way over to where it says 49. So no matter how many people are on, it'll show you as many of them as are there.
All right. All right, I hit tiled. And I am not.
It could be called grid too, I think.
Well, it gives me auto, tiled, spotlight, and sidebar.
Yeah, so tiled is what you want.
Okay.
But do you see the little slider at the bottom of it?
Yeah, I slid it over to 42. I figured it was close enough.
Yeah, did that change anything for you?
No, it just gave me a green bar under your name. Let's see, maybe I did something up here. Include yourself in the grid. Oh, well, now it decided to play nice. Okay.
Perfect.
Panic over. All right.
We do have a quorum.
Okay, I'm going to start right now. Calling to order. Christopher, would you be kind enough to say the Pledge of Allegiance?
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the
flag
flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome. I would like to welcome everyone to our Wednesday, April 22nd Board of Education meeting. Joanne, could I please have roll call?
Douglas Beebe.
I'm here.
Kathy Buckley.
Here.
Michael Hagedorn. Michael Hagedorn.
He's here, Joanne. He's here.
Ed Marin. Christopher Michaud.
Here.
Crystal Palmer.
Here.
Nicole Pupor.
Here.
Mark Sam.
Here.
Pauline Stone.
I see a purple P. It might be Pauline. I don't know.
No, that's Polly Tavernet.
No, it's Polly. Okay. All right. All right. May it be resolved that the superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education to approve the agenda. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
That was Mark. You're going to have to say your name because the pictures aren't staying up very well.
Yeah, Mark.
So Mark.
I'll second.
May I have a second?
Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. Crystal, I just want to clarify, when you said no, you were saying no to no questions or no to the resolution?
Correct, Kathy. The first one I was saying no, I had no questions.
Excellent. I just wanted to make sure so there's no confusion. Excellent. Thank you.
Yep.
Resolution passed. May it be resolved that the superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education to approve the following spring athletic appointments for the 2021 school year. May I have a motion, please?
A motion, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. May I have a second?
I'll second, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal. Any questions or discussion? Seeing that there's none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. May it be resolved that the Board of Education of the Beekmantown Central School District cast one vote for each of the 5 seats vacant on the Clinton, Essex, Warren, Washington Board of Cooperative Educational Services, Champlain Valley Educational Services Board. So we need to have a little bit of discussion on who we're voting for before we motion.
You can.
Okay.
There's a
Or
doc.
did you guys, I'm sorry?
Did you see this doc? I don't know if you can see it. Back, there's a document in the board portal with the 3 nominations and a little bit of background, what motivates them to run for the board, and their vision for CVES.
All right. So we need to put, let's see, resolve that the Board of Education vote. So we need to vote either yes or no on each person. So let's start with Patricia Giro. I say yes. I don't know how anyone else feels.
I would say that I don't know any of these candidates, but I'll say yes unless other people have a objection. Now, the other thing, it says the election's held today, right? So are we?
Right. We're voting them in. This is the day we do it.
Okay.
I concur with Mike. This is Doug Beebe. I don't know any of those 3 people. I have no reason to doubt that they wouldn't do a good job. So I have no problem with all 3 of them.
Okay.
Same here.
All right. All right.
Same from Crystal.
Nicole, do you have anything you'd like to add? Are you comfortable with all 3 being moved forward for the Board of Education of CV Tech and BOCES?
I'm not familiar with any of them, so I have no reason not to support.
Okay.
Ed is not with us. He would know these people, right?
Right. Well, not necessarily. If they're new, then he wouldn't necessarily know them. All right. So are we in agreement as a group to say yes for Patricia Giro, Richard Harriman, and Donna Wooten?
Yes.
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 Okay. Doug, Nicole, are you agreeing?
Yeah,
Doug, you already said yes.
I just said yes.
Nicole, you already said yes. Okay. All right. May I have a motion to vote yes for Patricia, Richard, and Donna for the Champlain Valley Educational Services Board? May I have a motion, please?
Doug Beebe will motion. Or Doug Beebe will second.
May I have a second? Doug took first.
Second, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. All right. Any questions or any additional questions or discussion?
Nope.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. May it be resolved that the Board of Education of the Beekmantown Central School District votes to approve/disapprove the tentative administrative budget in the amount of $6,342,174 total expenditures budget of the Clinton, Essex, Warren, Washington Board of Cooperative Educational Services for the school year 2021-2022.
Does Mr. Mannix have anything to say on this issue?
Sure, absolutely. They've done a nice job with their budget this year. I think actually that we voted this down, and we can't do it ourselves. If the majority of the districts voted this down, their contingency budget would be higher than this budget. So that's pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't ask for much more than that. They've been doing a pretty good job. I think Eric, having Eric there is giving them maybe a different mindset a little bit. So I believe it. I think they've done a good job.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions? Because we need to make a motion. Okay. May I have a motion, please?
Mike Hagedorn, motion.
Thank you, Mike. Second?
Pauline, second.
Thank you, Pauline. Any other questions or discussion?
I would just add that they have been adding a few coasters, or which are called cooperative services, that are valuable. We may or may not take part of them at Beekmantown, but overall, it's good to see the growth in the increase in services out of them as well. So it's been positive.
All right, excellent. Just for clarification, the resolution says votes to approve or disapprove. From our conversation, I feel we are voting to approve. So if we vote all in favor, we are voting to approve, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, excellent. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, excellent. Noes, abstains, resolution passes. Whereas a lawsuit has been filed in the Supreme Court, Clinton County, under the caption of Tetra Tech Engineers, Architects, and Landscape Architects, PCV versus Beekmantown Central School District, index number 2021-20980, and whereas the Board of Education desires to retain counsel for the purpose of defending the proceeding. Now, therefore, it will be resolved that the board retains Gervin and Filazzo PC as the counsel for the purpose of representing and defending the district in connection with the lawsuit, and authorizes Gervin and Filazzo PC to take all actions deemed appropriate in connection with such defense, including but not limited to the filing a third-party complaint against Construction Associates LLC. May I have a motion, please?
A motion, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole.
I'll second, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Any other questions or discussion?
Do you know the date when the suit was filed officially, or?
It would have been about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
We can give you the date. Joanne marks it and stamps it in. We can send that out.
All right. Any other questions or discussion? All right. Seeing that there's none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. Acceptance of 3 nominating petitions as listed below to elect 4 members to the Board of Education. The top 3 candidates receiving the highest number of voters will fill 3-year terms, 7/1/21 through 6/30/24. These seats presently held by Kathy Buckley, Ed Marin, and Mark Sand. The 4th highest candidate will fill the unexpired term of Michael Hagedorn, 5/18/21 through 6/30/22. Mark Sand, Patty LaFlame, Ed Marin. They're listed on the ballot in that order. Is that correct, Joanne?
That's correct.
All right, excellent. May I have a motion, please?
I'll motion, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
I'll second, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or discussion?
No.
Seeing that there's none, all in favor? Aye.
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 Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. May it be resolved that the superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education to adopt the following resolutions on this consent agenda. 2021-2022 proposed budget and 2021-2022 property tax report card. May I have a roll call vote, please, Joanne? Actually, shouldn't there be a motion in this?
Yes, motion first. Yes.
Okay. May I have a motion, please?
Motion,
No.
Pauline.
Thank you, Pauline. A second?
Second, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions or discussion?
I would say to the board that this is unchanged from our last meeting. Correct, Jen?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. So we're, everyone's all set?
Yes.
Okay. May I please have a roll call vote, Joanne?
Douglas Beebe,
Yes.
Kathy Buckley,
Yes.
Michael Hagedorn,
Yes.
Ed Marin. Ed Marin.
He's here.
I see
He's
him here.
muted.
Christopher Michaud,
Yes.
Crystal Palmer,
Yes.
Nicole Pupor,
Yes.
Mark Sand,
Yes.
Pauline Stone,
Yes.
Let's go back to Ed, Joanne. Let's go back.
Ed Marin,
Hold on. Let me send him a message.
Could mark him as abstaining. We get a hold of him. Well, let's just mark. You want to mark him as abstaining? He didn't vote yes.
Yeah,
right?
we'll mark. Oh, Ed? Oh, all right. We'll mark him as muted. I'm sorry. We'll mark him as
not voting.
as abstained. Excellent. All right. Moving on, additional items to discuss.
So our next board meeting can be in person. I mean, I guess any meeting could be in person. There's no longer an exemption to meet digitally. They may extend it. I guess we may be looking for feedback from the board. If they extend the ability to have a remote meeting, we don't have to vote on it right now. We could discuss it, or Joanna could call everybody. Who would be in favor of staying remote or starting to have in person? And if we have in person, I guess we just have to follow social distance guidelines when we allow the public in.
Now, if we did our May meeting in person, that doesn't necessarily mean that Cuomo opened up meetings. Or if we meet in person, we accept the public.
That's a good question. Like if we met in public, if we met in person, would we allow the public in? We can check with school boards. I guess my assumption would be yes, just like we allow kids in as long as they had masks, socially distanced, followed the questionnaire, took a temperature check, used hand sanitizer, all that good stuff. So we can do it even if Cuomo says, hey, you can still meet digitally. The question really is, do we want to meet in person no matter what, or do we want to just wait and see what happens with Cuomo?
This is Nicole. I don't have a problem meeting in person. I will say that I do like being able to save the time and and the convenience of doing this way. But I'm open to whichever works best for everybody.
Nicole, if we did in person, next that you could be there at 5:30 if by chance we had an executive session.
Yes, I can be there for 5. Yes.
Okay.
I guess I'm understanding you. You said if we were in person, I'd be able to be there.
Yeah,
okay.
Because usually if we do an executive session, we meet at 5:30.
Yep, that's fine.
So I just want to clarify that we're in person in the same time frame. It works perfectly. All right. Anyone else?
I'd say I'll do whatever the group wants, but I believe that's my last meeting, so I was kind of looking forward to getting together for one more time, but I don't want to set a precedent that you guys are stuck with once I'm gone, but I'll do what the group wants, but that's my 2 cents.
All right. Could you do 5:30 next time also?
Yes.
Okay.
So if Cuomo doesn't extend the suspension of to meet in person, or can we still do it virtual? I don't mind meeting in person. My preference would be to do it virtual. We've done it for however many times. It doesn't seem to be that big of a glitch. So that's my question, I guess.
So if he does not extend it, we can't, as a group, meet virtually. There is a way for you to participate virtually. There's always been a way for individuals to participate virtually. We'd have to advertise, and then there's a weird component to the law, Joanne, you know this one pretty well, I think, that if you advertise that Dan Mannix is going to be meeting virtually, and I'm a board member, not a superintendent, I'm meeting from my home, you have to allow members of the public into your home to verify that you're really there and meeting.
Well, if that's the case, then if he lifts the suspension, I have obviously no problem going to the learning center or library or wherever we go. It's fine.
Right. But if somebody did get in a jam and they needed to meet virtually, as long as we advertised it, we could do that. Now the other part is, Cuomo could easily tomorrow or the next day extend this through, through June. He could, and then, I am hearing, or we are hearing that, yeah, there is a convenience factor here, and it is working. We've had good meetings. But
Doug, also, if you didn't want to, for some reason didn't want to or couldn't meet in person, if you didn't want to allow people into your home, you can find a central location and have the meeting from there. You just have to make sure you can provide an environment where executive session is respected, and that it's a public location that people can attend. They do not recommend places like McDonald's
No, I have no problem going in.
or things like that.
If he lifts the suspension, believe me, that's too much headaches for everybody. I will be there.
All right, excellent. Is 5:30
5:30 is fine.
accessible for you? Okay. Pauline?
Yeah, I have no problem meeting in person. I'd rather have that than virtually.
Okay, and 5:30 is okay?
Yep.
I'm fine with in person, and 5:30 is okay with me too, Kathy.
Same for Crystal.
Same for me.
Same for me.
Ed, are you by any chance on there?
no, that was Ed.
Okay. That was it? 5:30? I know 5:30 will work for him too. Okay. All right. And for me, in person is 5:30 is fine. All right. Is there anyone that wanted to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. That wanted to chime in on this? All right. Seeing it looks like we're set. So tentatively, I believe that we will be able to meet in person as long as we are not violating any health complications or executive orders, I guess, on the 11th board meeting. All right. Anything else that you want to add to miscellaneous or anything like that, Mr. Mannix? No, you're good. All right. May it be resolved that the Board of Education meeting be adjourned 5:43. May I have a motion, please?
I'll motion. Mike Hagedorn.
Thank you, Mike. Second?
Second, Mark.
Second, Mark. All right. Questions or discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. Thank
Good
you
night,
so
everyone.
much, everyone.
Good night.
Have a good night.
There's Ed.